Hello, everybody. Joe McCarthy here, Finian Polygraph Services, FAA, independent and unbiased verifiers of the truth here in Texas. Just a quick plug here for myself. We also now offer private investigation services as well as executive protection services. So, when any lawyers out there need that kind of thing, you just give me a call and I'll take care of you. Okay. But what we're here to talk about today is a polygraph that I performed not long ago that helped return a no bill at the Dallas County Grand Jury. Now, before we get going on that, let's go ahead and make a quick side note here. I am not breaking privilege. I am not violating any rules, laws, regulations, or bylaws involving confidentiality. I do have permission from the examinee to discuss this issue in any forum that I see fit. So now let's go ahead and dive headfirst into this because this has been pretty controversial here in Dallas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area for the past week. Because it involves a pastor by the name of Rickie Rush of the Inspiring Body of Christ Church. The only reason why I looked over there is because I wanted to make sure I got the name right for you, Rickie. Right? Anyway, let's talk about this polygraph. Let's talk about the situation. Let's talk about why it probably got no billed. What does that mean? And we're also going to go ahead and run into the subject of why polygraph, acknowledging that polygraph is not admissible in a trial setting in a criminal court. We're going to go over that too. So let's go ahead and begin this little process. About a couple of years ago, Pastor Rickie Rush was accused of pastoral sexual abuse. Before he even got to me, he did take a polygraph examination with one other polygraph examiner here in the DFW area. I'm not going to mention the polygraph examiner's name because him and I don't talk, and I don't want to assume that he wants the attention. I am going to say this about this examiner. He is a widely respected examiner, not only here inside the state of Texas, but also nationwide. He is very active in the American Polygraph Association, making rules and standards. And I believe he's even been past president of the APA. He is a very, very, very well qualified examiner. I have a lot of respect for him. So when you pass a polygraph examination from this man, it says an awful lot, which Rickie Rush did pass his polygraph examination with this examiner. So having said that, eventually another accusation was added to the mix, if you will, and I was found. I gotta tell you, no normal human being wants to sit inside of a polygraph room. And I've got a bit of an abrasive personality. I was a kid that was raised in Boston during the clergy sexual abuse scandals of the Catholic Church. So it's something that I take pretty seriously. I did not make it easy on him. He did not. Towards the middle of that polygraph test, before we went into in-test, I guarantee you that man did not want to be there. He did not want to be there because I'm also an abrasive personality. I'm a little bit of a foul-mouthed guy from Boston, Massachusetts, or at least people down here in Texas consider it foul-mouthed. And in Boston, we consider it completely normal. But be that as it may, he did not want to be there, but he was there. And he did get put to the question. And once again, he passed another polygraph. So that's two polygraphs from two independent examiners that, quite frankly, don't talk very much. I don't know about the other polygraph examiner, because again, him and I don't talk. I can tell you that as religion goes, I do have a general belief in God, and But I am not a church-going man. Okay, I am not a church-going man. Organized religion is not my thing. So there definitely was no favoritism. There was no quarter shown in my polygraph room. And he passed. It's just that simple. 2 polygraphs, 2 independent polygraph examiners, 1 common result. No deception indicated. And when you're scoring charts as a polygraph examiner, it's all about pluses and minuses. It's basic math. There's no personal decisions involved. There's no gut feelings involved in scoring a polygraph chart. It is basic math. Plus, minus, and 0. Okay? And it's all there on the screen. So, hopefully I've dispelled a couple of issues that I've seen on social media with that one comment of, there's no gut feelings when a decision's made on a polygraph. It's all about the math. And one thing I love about math is math never lies. 1 plus 1 is always going to equal 2 every day of the week. So, why is this important? That's the great question. At a grand jury level, all they got to do is prove that there's probable cause to bring a case forward into the trial setting, into the actual formal court system. That is the burden of proof at a grand jury. Probable cause. I've heard some lawyers use the term reason to believe. All they got to do is prove that there's a reason to believe that this happened. All the defense has to prove is that there's a reason to believe it didn't. And that's why the no bill occurred. It's because apparently 2 polygraphs from 2 of the best polygraph examiners in Texas creates a reason to believe that nothing happened. Okay, now I'm not going to make any decisions of whether something happened or not. I'm not going to give opinion. I'm not going to speculate one way or the other, because that's not my job. My job is to look at the computer screen, score the charts, plus, minus, or 0, do the math, and make my decision based on that. As far as speculation goes, as far as investigation goes, that is not what I do. I just give the polygraph according to standards and procedures of the American Polygraph Association, because they're the people who set up the standards and practices, and I score the charts. And whatever the math says, that's where I go. It's just that simple. Now, why is polygraph not admissible in a criminal trial? Because the burden of proof is higher. We got probable cause right down here, but then when something gets true billed, then we go to the next level up, and that level is beyond reasonable doubt. Now, I am one of those polygraph examiners. I don't think that a polygraph should be admissible in a criminal trial setting, because that burden of proof is so high. Okay? And that's just out of an abundance of caution. Okay? I don't like the idea of polygraph being admissible in a criminal trial setting. That burden of proof is just simply too high for it. But it is completely appropriate to use at the grand jury level, where the burden of proof is probable cause or reason to believe. Now, a lot of people are sitting there saying, well, it must have been an easy ride through the grand jury system. Well, let's talk about that for a minute too, real quick. I've heard lawyers, both DAs and defense attorneys, use the analogy that it is so easy to true bill somebody at a grand jury that a DA could true bill a ham sandwich sitting in a wheelchair. That it is that easy to get a true bill. And if you take a look at the Dallas County grand jury list of decisions that they've made, you'll see it. It'll be reflected in that list. You go right down that list. It'll be true bill, true bill, true bill, true bill, true, 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 no bill, true, 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 true. There'll be 10 trues to, there'll be 20 true bills to 1 no bill. Go ahead and take a look. Don't take my word for it. It's right there. It's public access and information. Okay? It is difficult to get a no bill at a grand jury in any county. Okay? Now, personally, I feel sorry for the ham sandwich because I don't know what the ham sandwich did to get there. I certainly don't know what happened to get the ham sandwich in a wheelchair. I mean, you got to feel sorry for the ham sandwich, right? I mean, it's just a ham sandwich. What the hell's it going to do? Okay? But the point is that Rickie Rush was sitting inside of that wheelchair, or that, proverbial wheelchair, if you will. He was able to hire a couple of really good polygraph examiners, and he was definitely able to hire some outstanding lawyers. Because the lawyers are really the true heroes and everything. The polygraph is just a hammer. That's all it is. It's a tool. Okay? It's the lawyers that pick up the hammer and use it like a carpenter. Okay? Go ahead and use it and build something out of it. Make something out of it. Okay? That's all it came right on down to. The grand jury made the right decision because there was a reason to believe that this might not have happened. 2 polygraph examinations from 2 different examiners that don't talk to one another, one result. And I'm sure that there was other information in the grand jury packet as well. Did the grand jury make the right decision? Yes, I believe that the grand jury did make the right decision based on what was given to them. And that's all there is to it. So, for now, it ends here. And that's my comment on it. Now, if you want to go ahead and ask questions, I'm happy to answer any reasonable questions. I'm certainly not going to make arguments about the admissibility of polygraph at trial or the validity of polygraph, because that's a whole different video unto itself. Has nothing to do with this situation itself. I'm only talking about the Rickie Rush case in these comments. So, if you have questions for me, please go ahead and throw them at me. I'm happy to answer anything I can, but I'm going to warn you. I'm going to throw out a caveat, and I tell this to all of my examinees and everyone I deal with professionally. I will always tell you the truth. You definitely might not like the way I say it, because I'm a surly, grumpy old man. But whatever I say, I promise you, it'll always be the truth.